Recording. It's Powercast number 5. Hi, my name is Jay Arrett. We get together every Friday morning, 9 a.m. for the Small Business Marketing Briefing. Reminder, my website is themarketingspot.com and my blog is themarketingspotblog.com. Question for the morning, and what I'd like to discuss with you this morning is, who are you, or what company are you? Microsoft announced this. Well, I don't know if they announced, but it became news that Microsoft is planning on opening up retail stores, including right next to Apple retail stores. And this is on the heels a month after Microsoft just relaunched their search engine, renaming it Bing to kind of go after Google's search engine. So what does all this tell you about Microsoft? Well, first thing it tells you is that if you have Microsoft stock, you should probably sell it, because Microsoft doesn't have a clue as to what company they are. And that's my question for you this morning is, what company are you? Let's take the Microsoft example. What is Microsoft? It's hard to define what Microsoft is anymore. Now, I'm old, and I can remember the days in computers when you used to have to type in commands in the DOS prompt. That's right, there were no Windows. That's how old I am. You go back before Windows, and you used to type in commands. I remember taking a class at Baylor on Lotus 123, which was a spreadsheet program back before Excel. And you used to have to type in commands, and you typed in EXE to get the program running. And then Windows came along and made things easier. They made you more productive, and then they had their Microsoft Office suite, which made you more productive. I think Microsoft used to be a productivity company, and who knows what they are now. So my question to you this morning is, what company are you? What are you? What do you offer? What's your value proposition? Not too long ago, I interviewed Jason Jennings. He's the author of several books, including his most recent, which is called Hit the Ground Running. And we talked about a company's value proposition, and that you can sit and talk to somebody about their company, and often at the end of the conversation, you're not sure exactly what company that person runs. So I've got some questions for you to ask yourself this weekend about your company to build your value proposition. Got them right here on the screen in front of me, so I'm going to read them to you. The first one is what business are you in? Define your island. What business are you in? The second one is what do you do? Tell people this is what we do. Then, who do you bring value to? Define your customer. Who is your customer? And map it out as specifically as possible. People often say, oh, everybody's my customer. I can serve everybody. Well, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but that just gives you this big unidentifiable blob of people that you're serving. Identify a specific customer. I think it's helpful to identify a particular customer that you know by name who is representative of your total customer base. Say, yeah, Bob or Mary, that's who we serve. That's our typical customer right there. So once you answer that question, who do we bring value to? You answer this question: how do we positively impact lives? What do we do that positively impacts our customers? That goes back to your value proposition also. What's the value you deliver? But when you deliver that value, your customers' lives, how are they positively impacted? Step into their shoes and say, okay, now I own my product. How am I better than I was before? The next question is, how do you monetize that, right? You're in this business to make money, not just for the glory. So answer the question, how do we monetize that? What gives you money? What are people willing to pay for? And then finally, answer this question: how is this good for everybody? Customers, me, and that brings you back full circle into what's your true value proposition. See, unedited, drinking coffee right in the middle of the briefing, just like you would if we were in a real face-to-face meeting. So answer these questions, and you should be able to then build your value proposition so that you can tell people what exactly kind of company you are in 60 seconds or less. It's your value proposition. Now, Al Reese and Jack Trout, and now Laura Reese, Al's daughter, they like to say you should own a word. If you're going to be properly branded, you should own a word. And I think that's good for you too. I said earlier that I thought Microsoft used to be a productivity company. And I think they used to own that word or focus on that word, productivity. What word would you like to own? What defines your business? Think of that word. I like to think my word is empowerment. I like to empower small businesses. And that's why a lot of what I do is teaching and giving information. So I consider myself an empowerment company. The Marketing Spot empowers small businesses. So what word can you focus on? Think about that this weekend. What's your value proposition, and what's the one word you'd like to own? That helps you then focus what you're going to spend your time and energy on so that you don't become this unknown company like Microsoft or like Yahoo, which coincidentally now was announced here in the last 24 hours. I think that Microsoft and Yahoo are close to merging together, or Microsoft's going to acquire Yahoo. So you have two unidentifiable companies coming together to form an even bigger unidentifiable company. Don't be that company. Let people know exactly who you are. Articulate your value proposition. Identify the one word that you'd like to own. And then that'll take you closer to being your own brand too. So that's it for this week's Powercast, Powercast number 5. What company are you? We'll see you back here next Friday morning, broadcasting live on Ustream. And then I'll post this video up on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/themarketingspot. And also you can find it on the blog, which is themarketingspotblog.com. My name is Jay Ehret. Hope you have a blessed weekend.